Playing on the point, and Stinkler takes for the Buckers. Stinkler's behind the net, pulled out of there now. Then skated out by LaPointe to the blue line of the Stinkler's lead for Bordelot at the blue line of the Canadians. Poked away and back into the Hawk zone comes Lambert. Checked by Bill White. Taken by Ricebro. His pass intercepted by Bordelot. Ahead to Bolderev. Left wing lead to Degler to the blue line. And poked away by Tremblay and picked up off the foul board by LaPointe and led out to and Makita at the center line. And we have a whistle. Makita and Jarvis, the draw to the foul board. Jarvis picks it up on the deflection and skates it out to center ice. To the center line. Jarvis leads it over the blue line, intended for Gainey in the Blackhawk zone. Rhoda, right wing lead to Coral. Over the blue line, Coral on the near board. Checked by Savard. Carries into the near corner and along the backboard behind the net. Coral to the far board. Still continues to control in the far corner. Gives it along the backboard to Rhoda. Rhoda checked from the side. Loose puck still on the backboard. And pulled out and carried into the near corner by the Canadians. Back to the near point. Redmond. Intercept. Gives it the far board. Talon with a shot. Broken up. Right out in front. Shot. There we go. In front of the Canadian net. Was able to put it by Dryden. It went in high, just under the crossbar. The Blackhawks with a power play goal and have the lead by a score of 1-0. To the Canadians, and right from the draw, it's cleared over the glass on the far side. The Blackhawks, not wanting to believe that there is no tomorrow, have literally been peppering Ken Dryden with one shot after another here in the last couple of minutes. And it looks as if these Hawks are going to fight it right down to the wire. The face-off will be in the Canadian zone at the point from which the puck left the rink. And the draw again to the Canadians, and it's led out to center ice. Off the near board, Magnuson returns to the Canadians, and Martin leads it out to center ice to Dennis Hall. Dennis Hall trying to get by Savard, can't do it. The puck to the backboard, stolen by Sheehan. Sheehan behind the net, finishes it out, but Chuck is there to intercept the centering pass, and he leads it off the near board. Out to center ice, up the center line, right wing lead to Martin, over the blue line, off the near board. Martin leads it in front, it's cleared away by Dryden to the far board and Lafleur. And Lafleur leads it out, intended for Mahovlich through center right, to the right of Dryden. And the draw, back to Russell. Russell is shot wide to the right side. Rebound off the near board. Esposito was out of the net. No rebound. To the near corner of the Canadian zone. LaPointe and Bordelot both dig for it. On the near board of the Canadian zone. And pulled out of there now. It's carried out by Lemaire. Lemaire to the center line of the Hawk blue line. Brings it over. Trying to break through. Lemaire is taken out of the play, and the loose puck to the backboard and Magnuson. Now Keith Magnuson starts to skate it out of his own zone. Leads it at center ice. To Degler. Degler trying to break through into the slot. Can't do it. The loose puck is taken by Savard and cleared off the foul board. Back into the Hawk zone and Dale Talon. Talon to the near side. Intended for Magnuson. That is broken up. And the puck is kept in the Hawk zone by Gainey. It goes to the foul board and Magnuson retreats. Throws it off the foul board. Out to center ice and taken by Savard. Savard at the center line. He dumps it back into the Hawk zone off the near corner. Rebound to the stick of Esposito, and he skates it out to his blue line down the near board. From center ice, Coral puts it into the far corner. That's picked up on the interception by Savard. And Savard being checked by Rhoda. Dumps it back to the far point. Intercepted at center ice by Makita. Given to the near side, and Redmond puts it back into the near corner behind the net into the far corner. And Makita picks up the puck, puts it to the backboard, but he's well checked there by Savard, and Savard throws it into the near corner and off the near board. And the Canadians bring it back out to center ice to Gainey. Gainey to the blue line, taking the slap shot, and his fake created an offside at the blue line of Chicago. What keeps the Windy City moving? Empire Moving and Warehouse, looking for storage. Over the blue line, winding slap shot is just wide to the right side, and puts Coral in the near corner and off the near board. Mahovlich. Then picked up, intercepted by Magnuson, given to Rhoda. Another shot and a save by Dryden. And 4 red shirts that surrounded Dryden. As the puck is still on the line. Drops the puck, comes back for it. Left wing lead off the foul board. Dale Talon checked by LaPointe. Talon coming to the side of the net. Leads it right out in front, but Lafleur is there in the slot and back on the Canadians. Lafleur from center ice, a long shot and a save by Esposito. Rebound to Ball. And a shot by Martin and a save by Dryden. He got a piece of it and it deflected up into the crowd. How many a time, folks? poked away from him, brought in too soon by Nikita, and the Blackhawks are offside. Gunzel sports Rice to the blue line. Rhoda moving toward the near side, gives to Martin. Martin on left wing, trying to lead it in the slot, deflected right up in front, and Triton reaches out in the corner of the crease to grab the loose puck and hold on. I might reiterate that only once Rhoda couldn't get a shot underway. From the near point, Russell through behind the net, and Nikita. Nikita trying to center it if he can. Brings it back to Talon. Talon can't get a shot under Rays in the far corner of the Canadian zone. Behind the net into the near corner to Rhoda. Poked away from Rhoda and off the near board. Brought out to center ice by Ganey. Ganey over the Hawk blue line. Decides to put on the brakes. Gets away from Talon. Now he drops it back out to the Canadian zone. Eating up the clock at this point with Wilson of Montreal sitting for hooking at 17-10. 4-1 the score in favor of the Canadians as the Canadians clear their own zone. So the Blackhawks are not only running out of clock, they are running out of season. 4-1 Canadians. Now Russell, center ice play, right wing lead to Sheehan. Sheehan drops it back nicely to Martin. Martin with a shot and a save by Triton, and Triton clears it off on the left side. Into the near corner and let out through center ice all the way to the stick of Esposito. 1.5 minutes left, 40 seconds left in the Montreal penalty as Russell skates it off the near board. Out to his blue line, to the center line, gets by one. Russell continues to carry, gives to Martin on right wing, but the whistle blows. The Blackhawks are offside. Phil Russell does an excellent job in carrying that puck. He was so cool bringing it up past center ice and going by a Montreal player who went out to try to take the puck away from him. Russell didn't overreact to him at all, just stayed cool, stayed loose, and just put that puck to the other side and went by him with ease. Face off outside the Canadian blue line on the near side of the rink to draw back into the Blackhawk zone, and Dick Redmond. Redmond has it in front of the net, leads on right wing to Russell. Russell ahead to Martin at center ice to Sheehan. Sheehan to the blue line, poked away from him, taken by Lemaire, and Lemaire backhands it off the far board into the Hawk zone. 14 seconds left in the Montreal penalty, and 1 minute left in the season for the Chicago Blackhawks. Center ice play for the Blackhawks. Popped off of the stick at center ice to the far board, and Redmond has it. The penalty is almost over, and now Wilson steps on. Long shot by Dennis Hall, saved by Dryden. The puck to the side of the net, and the Canadians on it again with 45 seconds left. Led down the near board, out to center ice into the Hawk zone. Off the stick of Sheehan, taken by Russell. Russell to Redmond at the center line. And Redmond dumps it down into the Canadian zone, near corner, and grabbed and slapped off the near board out to center ice. Picked up by Riceborough to Wilson. Wilson with a shot broken up by Magnuson. Into the near corner it goes. Magnuson picks it up and skates it behind the net, throws to the far board. And Dennis Hall to Sheehan. Sheehan up the center line, trying to return to Dennis Hall, but he's being checked, but he continues to carry. Tremblay checking Hall. He still has it. Off the far board, trying to center. He does, but it's intercepted by Savard with 10 seconds remaining. Left through center ice into the Blackhawk zone, and Dale Talon to the near side, and Pete Magnuson. 5 seconds left. Dennis Hall over the blue line. Shot is wide to the left side. Rebound is hooked into the near corner, and there it is. The Blackhawks have been eliminated in 4 straight by the Montreal Canadiens, losing the game by a 4-0 score, a 3-1 score, a 2-1 score, and a 4-1 score. And now the traditional and somehow mind-tingling tradition of the handshake at center ice, with the players from the Montreal Canadiens all lined up, and the Blackhawks all lined up, and as they move down the line, each shakes the other hand, not only offering congratulations and condolences, but also the losers offering the winners best luck as the Montreal Canadiens will carry on into the semifinals of the 1976 Stanley Cup competition. As the end of the game was the final score, 4-1 in favor of the Montreal Canadiens. Well, a disappointing finish to what turned out to be, needless to say, a very close and exciting season, with the Chicago Blackhawks winning the Conn Smythe division on their final day of competition by defeating St. Louis, and then moving in to the true competition of Stanley Cup play against one of the finest Montreal Canadian hockey teams that we have seen over many, many years. And when we say finest, we don't mean necessarily absolutely sensational kind of hockey. But an all-around hockey club, great depth, great poise, fine offense, good defense, and what can you say about Dryden with the goaltending that he's come up with? In either case, here's the recap on the game. Cliff Carl opened it this way, Pat. You and I never really thought that the Canadians were going to be able to do this to the Chicago Blackhawks, even though we knew that they had the potential, especially with the home ice advantage in those first two games. I thought for sure that the Hawks were going to beat the Canadians at least one time here in Chicago. There was a definite possibility that this would be in the offing, and it might have been tonight, really. It might have been Thursday night because they got that big goal from Guy Lafleur with 13 seconds to go in the game on Thursday night. But tonight, the Blackhawks had the aggressive nature that they needed, and they managed to sustain it throughout most of the game. A little lapse in the second period, but outside of that, they had that aggressive nature, and they had more men loose in the slot tonight, and shots on goal will tell you that. They had 35 to 26 for Montreal, and yet this was Dryden's game. If any game in the series, it was Dryden's game, because Dryden was not really severely tested throughout the first three games. But tonight, he was tested. They bombarded him tonight, and he was more than up to anything the Blackhawks threw at him. So this was a big win for Montreal, a win for Ken Dryden as well. And the Blackhawk fans appreciated it. After the handshake, when the Montreal Canadiens went out that gate and went to their locker room, the Blackhawk fans stood around that gate and gave the Canadiens a tremendous hand. They are a tremendous team. $10,000 in one presented for the entertainment of our audience only, and any broadcast or rebroadcast or other use of the accounts and descriptions of this game without the express written consent of the Blackhawk Properties Incorporated is strictly prohibited. I'm Lloyd Pettit with Pat Sheridan, reminding you that this hockey game has been presented through the courtesy of Arthur M. Wirtz and the Chicago Blackhawks, and was brought to you by Ham's Beer, born wet and clear in the land of sky blue waters. Ham's, the beer you've been looking for. You've been listening to the big action of National Hockey League Stanley Cup competition. Our thanks to Harvey Hunt, our director, and Jim Kezios, our engineer. I'm Lloyd Pettit, along with Pat Sheridan. I know I speak for Pat when I say we're all looking forward to the 1976-77 competition of one of the finest hockey teams in the game today, the Chicago Blackhawks. We're looking forward to that in 1976 and 77, and I've got to say this before I sign off for the year. You can't say anything about the Blackhawks except good. They gave it everything they had. They gave it 100%, even though they knew if there was going to be a tomorrow, there might not be a tomorrow the next day. So they can hold their heads high and look forward to even greater success in the upcoming season. Thank you, everybody, for listening here on WMAQ. I speak for Pat Sheridan. This is Lloyd Pettit saying good night, everybody. This is WMAQ Chicago. The starting lineups for tonight's game between the Blackhawks and the Kings. Here is Pat Sheridan.
Thank you, Lloyd. And by the way, the applause you heard a moment ago was obviously for Chico Mackey talking to Keith Magnuson of Illinois. 6-1-2. Number 16 is on. He'll be teamed with Ivan Poldarev and Darcy Rota. Two players who like the offense, so they put the steady Mackey on right wing on this line to steady it. He'll hang back and he'll set up the other two, and it should be an interesting combination. As you know, Mackey during his career played with Bobby Hull on Chicago Stadium ice and did remarkable things with Hull. Here comes the faceoff. Outside the blue line of Los Angeles and the draw to Bill White at center ice. Gives to the far side of Talon. Talon gives to Boldarev, and he flips it over the blue line into the near corner. Corrigan retreats for Los Angeles, carries behind the net, throws around the far corner to Nevin off the far board. Led back to Corrigan to the center line. Corrigan over the Hawk blue line. Loses control of the puck. It's off the near board. Bill White pokes it along the board. Mackey takes for it. Here's a quick shot into deflection and a save by Esposito. Now that may not have looked or sounded particularly exciting, but that was a beautiful move on the part of Esposito because Corrigan tipped that shot, which was going wide to the left, and deflected it right toward the net. But Esposito, with those great reflexes of his, was able to move and make the save. 16:32 left to go in the first period. We have no score. And the face-off to the right of Esposito, the draw into the far corner. And picked up off the far board by Rhoda. Deflected out to center ice and Canagieser for Los Angeles. Gives to the far side, and Murdoch returns to the Hawk zone. Taken by Talon to the center line to Bolderev. Bolderev's right wing lead intended for Mackey. Deflected away at center ice and picked up by Bill White, and he dumps it deep. Stopped behind the net by Edwards. And Nevin has it behind the Los Angeles net. And Nevin flips it out through center ice to the center line and grabbed by Talon. Led ahead intended for Bolderev. It goes into the far corner to the backboard. And Rhoda trying to dig for it behind the net. Stolen away and led out off the far board. Nevin controls. Gives to the near side. And Canagieser checked by Bolderev at the blue line and forced to retreat back into his own zone. Led out to Corrigan to center ice and dumped in now by Goring into the far corner of the Hawk zone. It rebounds behind the net, picked up by Bill White. Off the near board to Mackey. Mackey's lead out, deflected off a skate. It goes to the far board of the Hawk zone and Talon. Out to Rhoda at the center line. And Rhoda checked from the rear by Nevin and center ice. Popped away from him, picked up by Chico Mackey. And Mackey dumps it over the blue line. Intercepted, however, by Nevin in his own zone. Checked by Bolderev. Now Rhoda. And Rhoda's pass intercepted, and the Kings have trouble coming out of their own end. Here's Carl from the near board. A shot wide to the right side and rebounds off the far board, and Nevin. Nevin leads it out, intended for Goring. Deflected away from him, picked up by Coral. Back over the blue line, he beats Canagieser on short right wing into the slot. Bolderev's shot is deflected away by Murdoch. Into the far board. To the far point. Russell with a shot high over the crossbar and off the glass. Rebounds off the near board. Then it's popped out to center ice by Corrigan to Marks. Marks to the far side. And Russell. Russell gives nicely to Degla over the blue line. Degla on right wing. Trying to get a shot underway. Can't do it. We have a penalty coming up. A delayed call against Los Angeles as Russell keeps the puck in. And now it's taken on the interception.
And Coral will be on along with Nikita. And it looks like Grant Mulvey on the other side. Or Degla will be on the other side. So that's the setup for the Blackhawks, and here we go.
And the face-off between Makita and Dion. And the draw to no one at the moment in the skates off the far board. And Talon with a long shot wide right to the side and off the near board. Poked out by Murphy and cleared through center ice into the Hawk zone to the stick of Esposito. Clears it off on the right side of the Chicago Blackhawk net to Dale Talon, and Talon has it. Comes out slowly. The first power play opportunity of the game going to the Blackhawks. With Murdoch of L.A. gone for hooking at 5:18. The puck is dumped into the L.A. zone. Taken by Komodowski, throws it off the far board and clears it back into the Blackhawk zone. Talon behind the net into the near corner to Martin and back to Talon on the backboard. Now Talon starts it out. Talon moves it out to the blue line. Left wing lead to Degla at the blue line. Degla brings it back into the slot to Nikita. Shot to go! Convert a power play goal. The goal by Stan Mikita, assisted, I believe, by Degla and Talon at 6:01. The penalty box is empty, number 9 for Stan Mikita on the season. The teams are back at full and equal strength, and the first goal, a power play goal for Chicago. From the face-off, and Dennis Hull trying to hit Bolderev in the slot. It comes down, a shot, and a goal! In the first 9 minutes and 2 seconds of this hockey game, it looks like the Blackhawks want to play hockey tonight because they have been something thus far.
First Blackhawks ball is
number 21 for Bolderev. That ties him for the league lead in goal scoring. And they're announcing the first goal now. The second announcement will come up. Penalty box is empty. Center ice face-off. And the draw to the Blackhawks. Dumped deep into the Los Angeles zone. And behind the net. Grabbed by Kahneman. By Esposito. Rebound. And another save by Esposito. The puck behind the Hawk net. And Sheehan trying to get it away. Bill White picks it up and tries to clear. Long shot by Morocco. Save by Esposito. The puck in the near corner of the Hawk zone. Then led back out to the blue line and taken by Beverly to Murat at the near point. His wrist shot knocked down by Bill White. And Bobby Sheehan digs forward and Sheehan dumps it out to center ice and Murat is on it. Went back to the Hawk blue line and
Talon is on it to Beverly inside the New York blue line. Out of the near side, and Marat. And Marat out the center ice. Right wing lead gets away from Gilbert all the way down to the Blackhawk zone off the backboard. Touched behind the net by Talon, and it's icing caught by Hickey to the center ice position to the blue line. Breaks by. Can't get a shot underway. Loose puck to the side of the net, and Hickey does get a shot underway. And behind the net, deflected to the side of the net. Cleared right out in front. And picked up by Martin, and the Hawks break out 2-on-2. Dennis Hall to the center line. Winding, long, slap shot of the save by Davidson. Rebound off the near board to Martin. Into the slot to Dennis Hall. Back to the far point. Redmond really shot wide to the right side. Rebounds off the near board and Martin. Into the slot. Dennis Hall. Back into the ball red. A rebound and a goal. Which started on the near board from Martin, and Martin put it in the Bolderev. Bolderev got the shot underway. Davidson made the save, but the rebound went to Dennis Hall. He rammed it home for number 25 for Dennis, and the Hawks lead it 2-1. And we have got a wide-open hockey game going here at Chicago Stadium. The face-off, the puck, and the Hawks out on the near board. Out of the net. Wheels around in the near corner of the Blackhawk zone. Leads in front of the net to Redmond. And Redmond skates it out to his blue line, to the center line. Redmond to the blue line. Left wing lead to Dennis Hall. Dennis Hall back to Redmond. Redmond with a shot off the post. And here's Martin with the rebound. And the save by Davidson. And the puck goes covered by Davidson in the corner of the crease. And now we have Bolderev and Bednarski. A right hand by Bolderev. Another right hand by Bolderev. And now they've got their arms wrapped around each other. A right hand to the back of the head by Bolderev. Both arms. An uppercut by Bednarski. A right hand by Bolderev. A back of the head by Bolderev. Another right hand by Bolderev. A right hand by Bednarski. A right hand by Bolderev. Another right hand by Bolderev. And their arms are wrapped around each other. And the linesmen now are jumping in to separate them. Well, I'll tell you. The way this thing is going, I'm tickled to death more than ever. The Pat Sheriff is sitting here next to me because he may have to finish the rest of this one. That was some fight. Bolderev had his shirt pulled over his head. Bednarski had 222 penalty minutes in the American Hockey League last year at the end of the first period. Which was to the right of John Davidson. The puck went back to deep left wing to Dick Redmond. He pulled the trigger on a slap shot, and he whistled it past Davidson into the net. And the Hawks with a quick power play goal. The score now, New York 4, Chicago 3. And the Bolderev to the blue line. Bolderev leading on left wing to Dennis Hall in front to Martin. Martin shot and goal! Oh, God. You like to see the home crowd come up with. A beautiful picture play goal. Bolderev down the slot. Left wing lead to Dennis Hall. Dennis Hall comes down to short left wing. Passes crisply to Pip Martin on short right wing, and he puts it behind the goaltender into the net. And the Hawks are within one on number 27 by Pip Martin. The goal coming at 14, and he's got Marat to beat. Rhoda coming on right wing. Put down by Marat, and the whistle blows. We have a penalty coming up against the Rangers. Out to Redmond. Redmond into the slot. Slips, falls down. Loose puck grabbed by Phil Esposito, and he has Talon to beat to the blue line. Phil Esposito checked away by Talon. The loose puck goes to Carl, and the Hawks all with less than a minute to play in the period. The last power play goal the Blackhawks scored. They scored in 2 seconds. Carl from center ice. A long shot and a save by Davidson. Clears it out to the left side. Thrown into the far corner. And Stemkowski. Stemkowski throwing it out through center ice and down deep into the Hawk zone. Off the backboard of the stick of Esposito. He helps it along behind the net. And along the backboard, Makita picks up the puck, and we have 36 seconds left in the second period. Power play hockey for Chicago. Talon behind the net comes out of the right side with 30 seconds left in the period. Talon to his blue line, to the center line, and dumping it deep around the near corner, and stopped behind the net by Davidson. Davidson shoves it into the far corner, and Stemkowski checked there by Makita with 18 seconds left to play in the period. Coral gives to Redmond. Redmond in the slot, a flat shot, a save, a rebound deflected away, and Stemkowski's on it, and he banks it off the fireboard and clears it out through center ice to the Hawk zone. 5 seconds left of the period. Redmond leads to Coral. Coral winding over the blue line, a shot, gonna go! With 1 second remaining before the green light went on, fired one from the deep right wing position, and he beat Davidson. Davidson had a piece of it, but it trickled behind him into the net, and once again the Blackhawks are within one. The period is over. Number 22 for Cliff Coral. So there is the end of the first period with the score. The New York Rangers 6, the Chicago Blackhawks 5. Winding slap shot and the save by Davidson. He didn't know where the rebound went. It's into the near corner and off the near board of the New York zone. Then Hickey backhands it out center right, poked away from Redmond. Here's Middleton coming in alone. A shot and a save by Tony Esposito. And the rebound of Bolderev off the near board of Martin. And Martin leads it out to center ice, but Middleton is there. The interception drops it back into his own zone. Could have been a game-saving save by Tony Esposito as he beat Middleton, who came in all by himself. Esposito leads in front, intended for Hickey. It goes to the side of the net now. All of a center line to Bolderev. Bolderev to the blue line on right wing, trying to get by on the near board, carries into the near corner. Along the backboard to the side of the net, behind the net. Bolderev still has it, trying to lead it out to Martin. Can't do it. It's popped behind the net to the far corner. And now Talon off the far board, the slot to Dennis Hall, and he's banned. Dennis Hall banned on the shot from the slot. Went out to center ice, and there's nobody back. Middleton coming in alone. A deep, a save by Esposito. And sent it out off the far board. For the second time in a row, Tony Esposito has beaten Rick Middleton on absolute and clean breakaways. Long shot by Hickey from outside the blue line. Another save by Esposito with a rebound to Bill White. Blue line into the New York zone taken by Batney. A double minor on Rhoda and a minor on Jarrett. And the puck led out to Gilbert to the center line. Gilbert winding at the blue line, taking a slap shot, coming out, a shot and a save by Esposito, and again a fantastic move by Esposito when he covers up. Oh, holy mackerel, what a move by Rod Gilbert on Dick Redmond. He faked the slap shot and then went right past Redmond between the two defensemen. He is just a brilliant, brilliant hockey player. There's Gilbert with a shot and a save by Esposito, and he covers again. Rod Gilbert is the all-time leading scorer. Redmond overskates it to the far board, and Gilbert has it just inside the blue line. Leads to Marat on left wing. His shot turned away by Esposito, and it's into the near corner, and Stemkowski brings it back to the blue line, kept in by Vadnais. Vadnais with a shot, and it's wide to the right side. In. Tried to poke it over to Mackey, but couldn't make a connection, and the puck slides the length of the ice all the way to the backboard, and touched there by Marat. Underway, Coral has it out to center ice. Coral taking the slap shot at the blue line of Bednarski, breaks up the play and leads it back to center ice, and Makita's on it, dropping into the Hawk zone to Bill White on the near side of center ice to Coral. And Coral to Makita on the far side, lets it go to Talon. Talon leads it over the blue line, deflected to the near board. Makita on the near board, has it at the near point, dropping into the near board again, and Bill White with a wrist shot, and the save by Davidson. Coral was trying for the tip-in. Coral behind the net. Checked by Vadnais along the backboard. Coral kicks it into the far corner along the far board. And Coral still carries it. Now pops it away from Bednarski, and Talon picks it up, gives to Makita. Makita to the side of the net. Makita with a shot, a save, a rebound. Another save by Davidson. He beat Makita, and then he beat Coral on the rebound. And the puck out to center ice in Middleton. Left wing lead to Esposito over the blue line. His pass deflected. Picked up by Bednarski. A shot and a save by Esposito. The rebound cleared away by Bill White and picked up by Makita. And the penalty now to Jarrett is out. And power play hockey now for New York for 2 minutes as Rhoda will sit his second minor. Blackhawks trailing 6-5, 12:05 left to play in the game. Long shot by Makita and the save by Davidson, and the Blackhawks change. Now Marat back to his blue line to the center line. He winds. Slap shot is wide to the right side. Off the backboard, picked up by John Marks for Chicago. He's at the side of the net, comes out of the left side. And Marks drops it the length of the ice to clear. To the stick of Davidson, to Vadnais behind the net. Vadnais waiting now to set up the power play. 1:27 left on the penalty to Rota. 6-5, New York. The Blackhawks are going to have to make a move pretty soon. Chicago dropping it into the slot, popped away. Martin grabs it, and Martin's stick being held. Can't get the puck, but Redmond does. Now Redmond back to the blue line up the center ice, decides to kill the clock, wheels back into the Hawk zone and gives it out to center ice, and Marks inside the Hawk blue line. Now Marks, left wing lead to Redmond over the blue line, winding slap shot, and a save by Davidson, and no rebound for Chicago. A powerful slap shot by Redmond and a beautiful save by Davidson. Now Vadnais, right wing lead to Esposito over the Hawk blue line on the far side, into the far corner. Marks puts a check into him on the backboard. The puck behind the net, grabbed by Esposito. Esposito to Gilbert. Gilbert back to Esposito in the far corner. And Esposito along the far board. Esposito to the side of the net, and Gilbert in front, deflected away from Marat and off the near board. Picked up by Martin, and Martin's pass led out to center ice to the blue line of New York with 28 seconds left in the Chicago penalty. Vadnais back to the blue line, can't get by Redmond. Loose puck to Russell, to Martin, and Martin 1-on-2. Center ice, blue line. Over the blue line. Martin on right wing. A slap shot is deflected high and wide to the left side and rebound off the far board. Picked up by Russell. And Russell trying to lead on the left wing. Stolen away by Gilbert. And the Rangers are back 2-on-1. Gilbert trying to lead to Esposito. Finally does, but it's deflected away. And off the near board, Gilbert has it. And the penalty to Rhoda is over. Back to the near point. And Marat for New York. Marat's pass broken up by Martin. Right back to Marat. He gives to the far side. Then picked up now by Vadnais. And Vadnais dumps it to Esposito in the far corner. He puts it behind the net in the near corner of the Hawk zone to Vickers. To Gilbert in the near corner, along the near board as Talon picks up the puck. Talon leads it out through center ice to the blue line of New York, but it's broken up by Marat and taken by Esposito. Bill Esposito from the center line. Backhands it back into the Hawk zone off the backboard. And Bolderev.